What's up, YouTube? It's your friendly neighborhood GM, your host, Coach Key, and welcome to Legends and Dice Cafe, where we learn about tabletop RPGs from old school to modern and do lots and lots of solo gameplay. Back with my weekly video like I do on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today's video, Patreons assisted with voting on this video as well, and they picked, well, the majority of them that voted picked for me to share with you tabletop RPGs that are not D&D 5e Part 2. As always, don't forget to make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It makes YouTube think that I am pretty freaking cool, okay? And if you want to further support the channel, make sure you hop on over to Patreon and subscribe. Shouts out to Brian, a big supporter of Legends and Dice Cafe. He sent me out not only one, but two boxes full of some amazing tabletop RPGs and zines. Zines. Some of the books that I will be sharing with you today are some of the books that he sent to me and he put me onto. Books that I had never heard of until Brian. So shout out to Brian and thank you so much for everything that you sent. I'm still going through everything, and just a heads up, one of the things that he sent me was Shadow over Gloomshire. It's a dragonbane adventure, and I'll be running dragonbane for my very first time. Honestly, this is the first time outside of solo play, me running anything besides D&D 5e. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited to try something else. And this one I thought would be a fantastic first time around adventure to run. It is a gothic horror adventure, and it's laid out pretty awesome. They have tables inside of it. So it is not only a surprise for my players at times during the game, but it will be a surprise for me as well on some of the things that will transpire. Besides the many different choices that they would make that I would have no idea that they were going to do that. So, but definitely, I'm looking forward to trying it out. And I do have room for 2 more players in Dragonbane campaign. So if you're interested, I'll make sure that I put a link to start playing games. The camp, it is going to be a mini campaign and it is free. Hit me up or join the campaign from Start Playing Games. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first on the list we have Mothership RPG, a sci-fi horror RPG. And through Brian, this is the first time I've actually heard of the game, and I think it's a fantastic game. I'm considering, after Dragonbane, possibly running this, but I have a lot of choices, so maybe you guys can help me out. So definitely Mothership is one of the ones that I would like to run, possibly, and I'll show you a couple others. But this is a really fantastic game, super thin. They also have a solo game. I don't know the name of the game, but if I can remember before I'm done editing this video, I will definitely place it up here. So far, from what I've read, it's a really cool game. So it uses your standard D10s, but it uses it in 3 different ways. One of them, you take the 2 D10s and you just add them together. The second one, if I'm not mistaken, you add 2 D10s together and then you multiply it times 10. And then the last one, mainly for your stat checks, you roll 2 D10s, 1 being the 10s and 1 being the 1s. So they will become your percentile dice. I think that's what you call it, percentile. And the stat checks, like your abilities, are strength, speed, intellect, and combat. With all of these games, eventually I will be doing a more detailed review on them. But for now, I just want to give you some ideas to some other games that you can play besides D&D 5e, because there are so many. I personally enjoy D&D 5th edition. It's what brought me into tabletop RPGs, but after coming into D&D 5e, I realized that there are so many other games out there from amazing independent artists and so many different genres. So, and if you just like D&D 5e, that's cool too. But if you're looking for other things to try out, Mothership is definitely one of those. If you like sci-fi and horror, it's definitely one of those to check out. And not only did my homie Brian send this, he also sent an adventure, The Dead Planet, which is the reason why I was considering Mothership, because I already had an adventure to go along with. If you have a suggestion, or after you've watched the video on the next game I should run after Dragonbane, definitely leave it in the comments. So Mothership is on my list. So I have 3 so far that I'm considering running after Dragonbane. I just haven't picked which one. So again, Mothership is definitely something to look into, which puts me on to the next one, Cloud Empress. Though it is a standalone game, it is also compatible with Mothership. It's a Nausicaa, I think that's how you pronounce it, fantasy campaign setting for Mothership. But again, it is a standalone game. And get this, it is also a free PDF that you can download. You can't beat that. It places you in a world ruled by giant magical cicadas. It creates a new Earth thousands of years into the future. Just like in Mothership, your typical stat checks, you're going to use a D100, 1 for 10s and 1 for 1s. And you're going to attempt to roll lower than your actual stats. And I like this one. Your abilities in this game are mind, heart, strength, and speed. So definitely check it out. Cloud Empress is another one that I'm considering. It's Mothership. It's between Mothership, Cloud Empress, and this next one that I'm going to share with you. And the next one is, I think it's pronounced Mouse Ritter. Another free RPG, but you can also pay what you want so you can support the author. It's a sword and whiskers role-playing game, and it's a light rule system. Dangerous for your characters, but so far I'm really loving it, and it's very interesting. When you're attempting to do something risky in Mouse Ritter, your GM is going to ask you to make a save against either your strength, your dexterity, or your will using a D20. Either roll less than or equal to in order to succeed. And it also has some really cool tables in the back. And you know, if you don't know, I am a huge fan of random tables, especially random tables that I can use outside of those specific books. All right, next up, Knave 2nd edition, okay? I honestly thought the book was going to be thicker when I received it, but after looking through it, it's a thin book, but it comes with a lot of great treasures, a lot of great random tables that you can not only use as a game master, but also as a solo gamer. This is a great book. It says it's an exploration-driven fantasy RPG and world-building kit. It also says it's inspired by the best elements of the old school D&D movement. So like I said, it's nice and light, but it is packed with so many treasures. Definitely something to look in. Character creation is super easy and super simple as well. Another light rule system that leaves room for so much creativity from the game master's side and from the players as well. Just in my opinion though. And for your skill checks, you're going to roll a D20. You're either going to meet or exceed your ability. And if you're familiar with D&D 5e, then you'll be absolutely familiar with the abilities, which are going to be strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So definitely check it out. And not only did Awesome Brian send Knave 2E, he also sent me a physical copy of Maze Rats, okay? Which is another light rule system from the same author of Knave 2E, Ben Milton, who I watch very consistently on YouTube. I learned a lot about OSR games from his channel, Questing Beast. And I reviewed Knave 1st edition on the channel, and I also reviewed Maze Rats in the same video. It was the PDF, so having an actual physical copy is fantastic. Check them out. Next on my list, Zweihander. I'm still working through the starter kit. I think it's a fantastic starter kit. It is pretty freaking heavy, and it comes with a lot of stuff. I like Zweihander a lot. It's a fantasy horror game, another system that uses a D100 to determine if you succeed in your endeavors. Combat is pretty deadly, so maybe low fantasy, but high stakes. So Zweihander is definitely another one that you want to check out. The only thing that I feel like is missing inside is a solo adventure, which brings me to the next game on my list. Call of Cthulhu, okay? This one actually has a solo adventure inside of it. I think every starter set should come with a solo adventure because the solo adventures help you to learn the game. Playing dragonbane solo is how I've built up the confidence to actually run it, even though there's still a lot that I need to learn, but I don't mind learning along the way. But Call of Cthulhu, I think that this right here again is an awesome starter set. In this game, everyone works together, each playing the role of an investigator of mysteries, uncovering secrets and encountering strange monsters and thwarting off sinister cults. So it sounds like a pretty interesting game. And they also have a lot of solo games for this as well. So definitely check it out. Something to look into if you're looking for games other than non-D&D 5e, a mystery horror game. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed my part 2 to tabletop role-playing games that are not D&D 5e. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch the video. Make sure you stay tuned to next week's video. Don't forget to make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to comment and make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any of the content that I post or try to post every single week on Fridays. And I also go live now playing some of my favorite games. Currently working on my Minecraft survival world. Definitely hop on Sundays or Tuesdays, sometimes both if I've got the time, between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday. By the time this video airs, I will be running my very first one-shot that I wrote. I did all the maps, all the tables, everything for it. So I'm very excited to run it for the very first time. Yeah. So wish me luck, and I'll let you know how it goes. And I'll see you guys same time next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. And peace.